You know we have to talk about it. This is Reality Report, where we break down the wildest moments on your favorite reality shows and spill what's really going on with the stars off screen. So let's get into it. What's going on, guys? Welcome to my new channel. This is Pam Unfiltered Reality Recap and Reviews. I have another channel which is called Pam Unfiltered, where I report entertainment news. I used to do reality recap, episodes and videos on that channel, but I was just like, let's not confuse the algorithm. Let's separate the two. You can do the entertainment news there, and then this channel here can focus on reality TV. So welcome, welcome, welcome. If you are from Pam Unfiltered, thank you so much for stopping by. Make sure you subscribe. Thank you. But we're going to kick this channel off with one of my favorite pre-summer shows. I don't know where you guys from, but here in New York, summer doesn't kick off to the end of June. Okay. And because Love Island starts in the beginning of June, kids are still in school and stuff like that. So summer hasn't begun yet. So that's why I say pre-summer. But we're kicking it off with Love Island Season 8. I am so excited. This is back. I am not a newcomer to Love Island. I've been watching Love Island since season 1. I have not watched Love Island prior to that, like the UK version or the Australia version. I gotta be honest with you. I've tried watching Love Island UK, and baby, it is a snooze fest. I don't know how y'all talk about how that's the best Love Island. It's just, there's nothing that goes on but talk, 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 and not much mess, 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 mess. I'm sorry. So again, I am not a newcomer to Love Island. I've been watching since season 1. But let's talk about episode 1. It aired on Tuesday. And it was an hour and 45 minutes long. I ain't gonna hold y'all. I thought that it shouldn't have been that long. I'm just saying, I thought the intro, we're gonna talk about the intro. The intro was a little too long, and then I feel like the introduction to all the main islanders, I was like, y'all could have sped this up. Let's get to it. I don't know. I just felt like the prior seasons, it was just much quicker to introduce the Islanders and really get into them picking their couple. You get what I'm saying? All right, so let's begin running it down. So the first episode, the premiere episode, opens up with a whole new sing-along dance routine. I don't know what's with Long Island. I don't know what's with Love Island and these new intros. I find it to be extremely corny, and I don't think any of us asked for it. Like from season 6 to season 1 to season 6, y'all should have just stuck with that. Even season 7, the intro was just super, super corny, but this one topped it off. Everybody was dancing. Kenzie was doing all the splits, and I'm like, all right, let me watch it. And then I just noticed something was missing. I was like, well, wait, like, what are these people's names? Because normally, they'll dance and then they'll go, and then a name flash. You know what I mean? I was like, well, where's their names? And I realized it was the suitcase on the side. Everybody had a suitcase on the side that showed their name. And I'm like, if you're going to do corny to the max. Don't just do a little bit of corny, do all the corny. And what really killed me is when they did Bia, and when Bia was at the water park, and I was like, well, where's her suitcase? Her suitcase was in the water with the Fijians. And I'm like, well, if nobody noticed the suitcases were their names to introduce them, nobody would have realized that Beatrice is a suitcase was in the damn water. Just ridiculous. And then after they finished doing their whole little dance routine, sing-along routine, then we got Miss Ariana Grande, Lord have mercy, Ariana Madix. She introduces herself this season, but they give Ariana the slow-mos. I'm Ariana Madix, and this is Love Island USA. I was here for it because Ariana is 41 years old. You know what I'm saying? We are very close in age. And I was just like, this woman looks gorgeous for her age. Body is T, face is T. I'm here for it. So now let's get into us meeting the singles. First up, we get Kenzie and Aniyah. They come into the villa together. They are super excited. They pop some champagne. They go sit down and they talk. And as they're talking, they realize that they're from the same state. They are from Georgia. And now we get into their individual video packets. We start off with Aniyah. Aniyah is 23. She works in marketing something for her family's nonprofit organization. Her father used to work, I should say work. Her father used to be in the NBA. I don't know who her father is. He's not like one of the famous ones. He's just one of the ones I guess went unnoticed in the NBA. She says that she hasn't been in a relationship for 6 months. And I was just like, Aniyah, this not 6, girl. This 6. You sure you haven't been in a relationship for 6 months? I'm gonna believe you, but I don't know. But then she goes on to, she says, she's ready for a relationship because her prior relationships, the dudes always had something going on and she just really wasn't for it. And now that she hasn't been in a relationship for 6 months, she's ready for a new one. And that's why she came on Love Island. She does not discriminate. She'll date a short king. She'll date an Asian king. She'll date a white king. It don't matter to her as long as they treat her well. So then we get Kenzie's package, and Kenzie is 24, again from Georgia, and she just graduated from nursing school. She is a competitive dancer and she hasn't been in a relationship for 3 years. And that really just sums up her video package. So as they're excited, they're talking, here comes Miss Melanie. Melanie, I believe, is 24, 25 years old, and she is a Dominicana from Philadelphia. And I knew she was an East Coast girl because when I saw her picture on their Instagram and it said Melanie, Dominican from LA, and I was just like, no, she not. How many Dominicans that you know were born and raised on the West Coast? Not many. Certain ethnic groups stay or stick with a specific coast. Okay, and Puerto Rican, Dominican, Cubans, majority of them stick to the East Coast, whether it's New Hampshire, Boston, Rhode Island, Connecticut, New York, Jersey, Philly, North Carolina, because there are some Dominican people in North Carolina, Florida, Georgia. They just all stick on that line. So I knew she was a East Coast girl. What killed me about Melanie, I'm going to talk about her package just a little bit more. She is the only person that introduces herself with her ethnicity, which I find to be a little bit weird. Is it because you're trying to separate yourself from somebody mistaking you as being just a Black girl? I just a little question mark because it was just like, I'm Dominican from Philly. And I'm like, girl, nobody asked you about your ethnicity. You could have just said, my name is Melanie from Philly. And that's just it. So in her package, she talks about how she can't stand when girls say they're a girl's girl. Just act on it. You don't need to say it. And I just have to say this. When it comes to Love Island, there is no such thing as being a girl's girl. And I'm just going to say it. It's just, there's no way at all that you can be a girl's girl in this scenario, right? Because your quote unquote friends that they're in a couple with, they might not be getting along, but you and the guy or girl are getting along and y'all really are attracted to each other, but y'all staying away from each other because you don't want to disrespect your friend. Nah. I didn't come here for Friend Island. I came here for Love Island. I came here to get my man, or I came to get my girl. And we just got to be adults, and we have to sit y'all down, and we have to be honest. Point blank, period. So after that, the producers ask her, they're like, oh, if you had to describe yourself as a bikini, what would it be? She was like, the one in the damage bin. And let me tell you something. When I first heard that, I was like, well, damn, that's kind of messed up. But then when I watched episode 2, I was like, I understand. And we'll talk about that in episode 2. But I was like, I understand why you would consider your relationships the damage box of bikinis. I'm just saying. And then after that, she talks about her relationship. She's like, when I get my man, if he wants 10 kids, I'm going to pop out the 10 kids. And I'm just like, Melanie, you and I have the same name. Yes, my name is Pamela Melanie. Girl, pop out that first baby and see how you feel. Because you don't know how your body's going to react to having kids. Because I'll be damned to give somebody 10 kids that's coming out of this vagina. Well, technically I can't. Just age wise, I just can't. But 10 kids, girl, slow down, slow down, slow down. So after that, we get the last two girls. After her package, we get the last two girls. We get Bia and we get Trinity. And Bia is 25 years old from San Diego, and she's a para-Olympian, two-time para-Olympian. She won a bronze for long jump. And she tells us that pretty much when her mother was pregnant with her, you know, she developed a disease where her limbs didn't grow. And when her mother gave birth to her, they told her that her daughter would never walk, which was kind of wild to me because she is 25, meaning she was born in 2001. And I think we were advanced on prosthetics back then. So I don't understand why the doctor even said that to her mother. But she says she loves her a tall, dark, and handsome with a mouth mustache. I'm like, girl, just say a goatee or a beard. You ain't got to be doing all of that. But I do like Beatrice's personality. She's like top tier. I really, really like her personality. So now we get Trinity, and Trinity says she's from a small town. She's from Newport News, aka Virginia Beach. She works at a hardware store. She was trying to be funny, saying, "Oh, people ask me about, plumbing questions." She's like, "I ain't no damn plumber," and I was just like, "That's cute and that's true." And Trinity is, at first of all the girls are gorgeous, but Trinity is absolutely breathtaking. So after their package, the girls meet, or I should say they actually meet and then their packages come in. When I tell you these girls was hyping each other up, they was like, "Oh my God, you're gorgeous. You fire. Oh my God, you look good in that dress. That color is bomb on you." They was talking about Bia's body. They was like, "Girl, your body is fit." Specifically Aniyah. She was like, "Oh girl, what's your routine? Your body is fit." And I'm just like, "Aniyah, do you have a mirror?" Because girl, your body is fit. That dance routine, did y'all see her body? Like she go to the gym every day. It's like the muscles, the pack, the tightness. Like, no girl, what is your routine? Your body is banging. So the girls are talking, and here comes Miss Ariana Madix. She is so excited to see the girls. They get champagne. She sits them down by the fire pit, and she's asking them, like, what brings you here? Like everybody else, not looking in love. I'm looking for love. But of course, they don't say they looking for what? Fame. Because let's be real here, that's what they're looking for too. You know what I'm saying? So after she talks to each and every one of them, she's like, "Y'all ready to meet the boys?" And they're like, "Yes, let's meet the boys." So here come the boys. So we first meet Sincere and Bryce. Sincere is 25, I think. Hold on, let me look at my notes. So Sincere is 25 from Camden, New Jersey, and Bryce is 29. He was born in Hawaii, but he was raised in Las Vegas. Sincere used to play track and field, but now he's a coach for track and field. And then Bryce is a model, or he used to be a model. He doesn't get a lot of modeling gigs anymore. So what he does is he fixes garbage trucks, which I think when I say think, I know from his reactions on the show that he's very ashamed of that job. And I'm not quite sure why. It's something that you're making a living out of while you're doing modeling. If you have a problem with that, maybe you need to go get another job and get that job to pay your bills while maybe your modeling picks up, because modeling is not the same anymore, where after like 25, 26, the modeling world is done with you. Anybody at any age can be a model now. So maybe that's why he's on the show. Maybe he wants to get himself out there so he can continue modeling. I don't know. So after we meet these two and they are introduced to the girls, when I tell you Sincere, when he saw Melanie and Melanie saw him, you could tell them two was in love. They were in love. And Sincere, when he talks about him being track and field, and then Bia says, "That's what I do." And they kind of like bond on that, but not in a sexual way. You get what I'm saying? So now we are introduced to Zach, who is 26 years old, UK. And there's something special about Zach. He is Charlie's brother. Him and Charlie look alike, but when I was looking on Threads the other day, everybody is like, "No, he does not look like Charlie. He looks like Miguel from season 6. And I have to agree. He really does look like Miguel. He looks like a white version of Miguel, because we all know Miguel's not white. Miguel is Black, Spaniard, and Middle Eastern. I think that's his background. But he comes in, all the girls like, "Oh, how you doing?" And the guy's like, "How you doing?" He's like, I'm Zach, 26. I'm from Birmingham. He doesn't want to say that he's Charlie's brother, but Ariana kind of like brings it out. She's like, well, there's something else special about you. He's like, oh, my brother Charlie was on last season. They're like, oh, y'all knew. Stop it. Stop lying. Y'all knew who he was. He looked just like his damn brother. Hello. Come on. So after after he introduced himself, he said, I'm Zach from Birmingham. Like, he loves like fun facts about One Direction. I'm just like, One Direction? But I forget how old the members of One Direction are compared to Zach. The members of One Direction is in their 30s. Yes, they in their 30s, and he's 26. So I was like, all right. It's not too corny, but he says that he's looking for an American girl. He said he wants an American girl where they can have a home and a cat. And if she don't like cats, she got to go. And I'm like, ugh, God, I don't trust cats. I think cats are sneaky, mean little bastards. And that's just me. So after his packet, then we get the last two boys. We got KC and Sean. Sean, baby, 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 baby. Sean, you are so fine, Sean. You are so fine. You are my type. I wish you were a little taller, but you are so fine, baby. So Sean is 29. He's a police officer in Pennsylvania. And we come to find out that he has a kid. My only issue with there's two issues with Sean. Number one, certain angles, he looked like Johnny from season 2. And I was just like, who wants to look like Johnny? But outside of that, when he's explaining himself in a packet and him saying like, oh, he was in a 10-year relationship, but after the 10-year relationship, he was pretty much being a hoe. And during his hoe phase, he got somebody pregnant. And that's exactly how he explained it to everybody when he got to the table. And the girls was like, oh, okay. He goes, yeah, I got somebody pregnant. Not an ex-girlfriend, not a girl I was dating. He's like, I got somebody pregnant. And I'm just like, oh, so you fucking someone without a condom that's not your girl? All right. It's a little red flag over here, but okay, you fine and everything, but that's a little red flag. Not the kid that you fuck people without no condom on. That's a red flag. But anyway, some of the girls are smitten because he's damn good looking. So now we get KC. KC, I believe, is 23 years old from Northern California. I forgot what area he's from, but I know he's from the north. And he is a nursing assistant. He said he wants to be a nurse practitioner. And the things that he, does at his job is like really, really gritty and it's not glamorous. Like, he changes people's diapers, he cleans them up. And here on the East Coast, specifically in New York, we call that a home health aide or a medical aid. I think that's what they're called, right? It's like different tiers of people. So it's like home health aid, and then it's a home health aid, it's like a medical aid. I forgot what it's called. Then it's like a MA, which is a medical assistant. Then you got your LPN, then you have your RN, and then you have your nurse practitioner. Like, those are the tiers. So when he said that, I was a little confused. I was like, do he mean like a home health aid? Or, or a medical aid? But yeah, so we introduced with him. He said he likes to please. He ain't never had no complaints, but he likes to chase. But for the right person, he will not be like that. He will just be completely committed to them. And I'm like, I'm here for him. In my video that we looked at the cast, I ain't gonna lie to you. When I looked at KC, I was like, KC, baby, you ain't it. I was like, you ain't it. I ain't feeling you. No, ma'am. No, sir. You gonna get on my nerves. And from these 2 episodes, I have completely changed. I think you are an absolute sweetheart. And I am rooting for you 1000%. So let's get into the nitty gritty. I hope that didn't take too long, but let's get into the nitty gritty of the episode. Now it's time for everybody to see who are they compatible with. So we cut to the island. There's girls. There's like doors, 3 doors. The girls on one side, the guys are on the other. And what's going to happen is Ariana, she is going to ask a series of questions, and there's 3 answers. So it first starts off with, what is your favorite sex position? So the options are cowgirl, doggy, and missionary. So for the missionary, we got Aniyah, we got KC, and we got Sincere. So when she opens, so whoever is behind the doors, those are who the people you have to kiss. So Aniyah is able to kiss Sincere and KC. And I have to say, Sincere is a really good kisser. There's something really passionate about the way he kisses. I don't know if I think he like holds the face. Like, it's just something really sexy about the way he kisses, and it's very intimate. But when she starts kissing KC, you could clearly tell KC wants Aniyah. From the time he walked in and he just beelined his view on her. So when she's kissing him, he is like going in. She doesn't know what to do. But I have to say this, Aniyah is not the best kisser. She likes, I don't know if it's because she's tall and she deals with shorter men, but she tends to go like up and down into them, and it just looks really, really sloppy. But yeah, she was just like kind of like ill prepared on their kiss, and she just starts to laugh. So when it comes to doggy, the people who are on that door, we have Bia, Trinity. Hold on, I got Bia, Trinity, Sean, and Bryce through those doors. So when the doors open, Bia makes out with Bryce, which was a basic kiss, and then with Trinity and Sean, when Trinity kisses Sean, that kiss was steamy to the point where he pushed her against the door wall, and he was making it. And I was like, "Ooh, the way Sean kisses, just like I'm ready to." You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm ready to bang, 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 bang. I was like, I like it. So then they switch and he starts to kiss Bia. Everybody talks about the kiss between Sean and Bia, but I don't see anything. I don't see no passion. And I'm going to continue to say this. Bia kisses regularly, and I feel like it's very basic. There's like really no passion in when she's kissing. So I'm lost when people talk about her kissing skills. I don't know. I'm just confused with it. But Trinity kisses Bryce is cute, and then that's it. And then the last one is Cowgirl, and the ones with Cowgirl is Melanie, Zach, and Kenzie. So they open the door, and Kenzie is so excited that, Zach is on the other end. And she tells Melanie, you can go first, girl. I'll wait. Say the best for last. So Zach is another person that I like the way he kisses. It's not sloppy, but it's very intimate and passionate. If you get what I'm saying, it's soft, but it's passionate, and I really like the way he kissed. And I thought his kiss with Melanie was cute, and with Kenzie as well. The only thing is that I feel like maybe he was holding a little bit back from Kenzie, just a little bit. Like, I mean, he was grabbing her butt and everything, but I don't know, just something the way they was kissing, he was just holding back a little bit. So then we got the next question, right? And the next question is, are you a dog, cat, or plant person? So Casey is the only one that stands in front of plant, which I understand because everybody is not an animal person. Everybody does not want an animal. You get what I'm saying? So I don't know why they were side-eyeing him when he chose that. But for dog, we got Sean, Bia, Sincere, Kenzie, Melanie, Aniyah. When I tell you at this point, this whole kissing game situation just started becoming way too much. It was just like a lot of spit swapping. I understand that they are tested for diseases and things like that, but it just became too much. I feel like Love Island is trying to take it up a notch, but with this particular, I don't know what you want to call it. It's not a game, but this particular point in the episode when you're trying to find compatibility, I just thought it was team too much. I thought they should have just stuck what they had before. The girls here choose the two you wanted to kiss, and that's it. You get what I'm saying? And that's how you get your couple. All this intermingling kissing was just too much. And this is where it started. You got, what was it? Sean, Sincere, and they kissing Beatrice, Kenzie, Melanie, and Aniyah. Don't you think that's too much? The swapping was gross. It was gross. And then, I'm gonna come back to it. I'm gonna come back to the last question. I'm gonna come back to it. But they started swapping. I was just like, this is gross. And then the cat people, I got my notes over here. We got Zach, Bryce, and Trinity. Zach, can I tell you something? Zach is into Trinity like no other. He really wants that girl. Every time he sees her, he like gets this little cute little smile on him. And he was super happy that she was behind that door. So they're making out, but she says, oh, she has no chemistry with Zach. And I think that's such a lie. There's something about Trinity that is coming off a little bit unauthentic. I feel like she's looking for a particular moment, and I'm not here for it at all. I need you to be 1000% authentic on the show in order for you to be where you want to be. Like Olandria was very authentic about herself. Serena was very authentic about herself. Janae was authentic about herself. Leah was authentic about herself. That's why everybody loves these women. And I need you to do the same. And I feel like there's just a little bit of her that isn't. But she makes out with Bryce and she's like, oh my God, I love making out. We got the chemistry. And when I heard her say that, I was like, okay, she's looking for a Nicolandria moment. Nicolandria is Nicolandria. That is their story. You need to create Trinity in whoever's story. You get what I'm saying? And this, like I said, was very unauthentic and you know, in my eyes. So then after that, again, you got KC. So there was nobody behind the door. They were making out. Let me go back to the first question with the sex. So when Ariana was asking, when Ariana was asking them why they picked the position, and I'm just talking about specifically the doggy, and Beatrice was like, I like my face, my ab, like my face down, pulling my hair, pulling my arms. And I was just envisioning, and I was like, girl, that is a hard position to do. That is a hard position to do. I've tried it. And let me tell you something, it ain't for fat girls. Okay? Fat girls, leave that position alone. It's not for us. Leave it for the little girls. Leave it for the little women. It's not for us. And I'm envisioning in my head like, yo, that's super hard to be in this position with your head back and this back. What are we talking about? Hell no. So then then Ariana asked Sean, she's like, well, why you like doggy? And he was like, he agreed with Beatrice. He liked all that hair pulling. He said, but I like to spit in your mouth. What? Like, yo, Sean, you are freaky to the 10th power. Yo, girls allow you to spit in their mouth? Like, what are we, birds? Like, what is going on? Y'all, that is disgusting. Now, mind you, kissing, you swap spit. But could you imagine just, somebody spit in your mouth? No. Where you do that at? That's nasty. That's really nasty. Sean, I'm gonna keep my eye on you. You freaky. You real freaky. So let's move on to the next question. So this question I'm just gonna breeze through because I really didn't care about it. It was like, you know, is it okay to check your phone? It says, you know, sometimes, always, or never. Never was Sean, Aniyah, and Bia. They make out. Sometimes was Casey, Melanie, Trinity, Bryce, Kenzie. They all make out. Again, all that the spit spot swapping was disgusting. And it always was sincere, just sincere. So nobody was there for him to kiss. And so I believe that was the last question. No, it wasn't the last question. The last question was, are you guys here for this summer for best experience of life? Everybody says yes, and they all start making out, which again, I find to be absolutely disgusting. And Love Island, please, 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 por favor, please, don't do that again. Please go back to what you were doing before, the people to stand on the podium or stand on little steps and then the girls choose. Just stick to that. And it saves a lot more time. We can get more into the meat and potatoes of the episode. Please don't do it again. So now it's time to pick the couples. We're going to breeze through this again. The couples are Bia and Sean. We have Trinity and Bryce. We have Melanie and Sincere. We have Kenzie and Zach. And then last but not least, we have Aniyah and KC. Those two were not picked, so now they were defaulted into a couple, which in fact, KC, again, wanted Aniyah, so he was very, very happy that nobody picked her. FYI, I have no clue as to why Aniyah even was behind the door for Sincere, and I'm not trying to be funny, Sincere does not look like the type that he likes darker women. And I'm just being honest. And you can tell on her face when right before he chose Melanie, that she knew that. Because she had like, okay, just pick Melanie and like shut the fuck up already. That was her face. Like, so I don't even know why she's still behind the door. But that was it. So they're chosen to a couple. So now everybody kind of like branches off and take tours, you know, around the villa. The girls look at their makeup room. They look at their bedroom. And then they all kind of like disperse into couples. You get Zach and Kenzie, and you get Trinity and Bryce in the new spot, like kind of tucked by the dock, which I find I love that space. That space is gorgeous. But, you know, they have their little conversations, nothing too important. And then we get Casey and Aniyah. And again, Casey is excited and he expresses that to Aniyah that he's happy that he's paired with her. He asks, are you happy to pair with me? She says, yes. And then, you know, she goes into what she does for occupation. And he says, I love that because I love a family-oriented girl. And then he explains what he wants to do. And that was pretty much the end of their conversation. And again, clearly, Casey is smitten with Aniyah. And I can see why. Aniyah is gorgeous. I ain't feeling her wig, but outside of that face, gorgeous. So now we get Sincere and Melanie. They're like up in the balcony. They're talking, and they come to find out that they're both Eagle fans, and they kind of like bonds over that. And then she pretty much asks, like, you know, this is what I like for breakfast. And he's like, I'll definitely make it for you. I don't eat eggs, but I'll definitely, you know, make the eggs that you want. And that pretty much ends their conversation. Now we get to Zach and Kenzie's conversation. Okay. And they're talking about the occupation. She says, you know, I just graduated from nursing school. And he says, you know, I worked in the medical field too back in Birmingham. But he said he recently was traveling to Australia where his mother's from. Like his dad is UK, Greek. He's Greek from the UK, and his mother is from Australia. And I guess his parents met in Australia, but eventually after they had their daughter, they moved to the UK, and they had Charlie and Zach, and then they opened a fish and chip shop. So that was his story. So she goes, so, you know, what's your type or whatever? And she said, because, you know, you're really tall and dark and handsome. And he said, well, my type really is woman with dark features. Baby, when he said that, I was like, oh, okay, here, Charlie 2.0, because I think that's what Charlie really prefers too. Because when he came on the show as a bombshell last year, he went straight for Shelly. Nobody else. He went straight for Shelly. So I was like, ooh, they got the same taste. And that's what I think he likes. Because I'm telling y'all, when it was time to choose, I didn't say this before, but when it was time to choose the couples, when Trinity chose Bryce, they put the camera towards Zach, and he was just like, he smiled, but it was clear he was disappointed because he really wanted Trinity. And, you know, once he said that he likes dark features, when I tell you the insecurities in Kenzie started just boiling up. She's like, well, he's never dated a blonde. He likes dark features. I don't know what to do. I'm just going to, you know, hold my, you know, I'm just going to kind of be a little bit closed off for protection. And I'm just like, girl, he said he liked dark features. He never dated a blonde. He said he just wasn't interested in you, which he really isn't interested in her. We have to be very honest here. So after their conversation, we get Bryce and Trinity. Again, everybody's like talking about occupations. So, you know, she doesn't really say her occupation, but he tells her, you know, obviously he's a model, but on the side, he's so embarrassed. He said he, you know, fixes garbage trucks. And she's like, why are you embarrassed? She's like, it's a job. Like, it's okay. Like, we're normal people. It's perfectly fine. And then they make out. And I'm like, okay, everybody's looking for a specific moment. It's only day one. Like, can we just talk? Can we talk? Can we talk? Can we talk? Can we talk? So now we get Beatrice and Sean. Obviously, Sean is smitten with Bea. They have conversations. You know, he talks about him being a cop. She tells him, because he didn't know, because he came in afterwards. But she says, you know, I am a 2-time Olympian, or I should say 2-time Para-Olympian, and then she has a bronze medal. He is here for it. He congratulates her and stuff like that. But then they start talking about like music, and he says that he loves country music. He's in his house on YouTube learning line dance, and she's like, yeah, that's not my kind of music. And he said, well, we driving in the car, like, what you gonna do about the music? She's like, I'm turning it down. Like, I don't listen to that kind of music. And they chuckle, and then it pretty much just comes up. Then after that, it pretty much shows everybody preparing for the nights. The girls are in their room. They're putting their clothes away. They're talking about, you know, the guys and their conversations. Kenzie, again, is showing her insecurity. She's like, you know, he said he doesn't like blondes. I don't know. Aniyah's like, she's happy. You know, she's happy with KC. She doesn't really know how it will go, but she's, you know, here for it. She just said tomorrow we'll just talk a little bit more to see, you know, how it flows. Melanie is totally smitten with Sincere. Who else? And then we get to Bea, and Bea's like he's sweet. You know, he's caring from the conversation that they had, but she said he got a kid, and I'm not too sure about that. She said, listen, we ain't getting married. You know what I mean? So I'll see how this goes. But she said in her real life, she would never date a man that was married. And I said to myself, then why did you choose him? Some people are actually here looking for love. Why did you choose him? Why? Like why? What was the point of that? What's the point of that beer? So everybody's preparing to go to bed. Everybody's in the dorm room. And can I say this? I am so proud of everybody who was wearing a bonnet. And it was quite a few people who were in a bonnet. There was one person, though, that wasn't wearing a bonnet. I was questioning her. You know what I'm saying? So you had Trinity. You had Beatrice. Yes, Beatrice. You had Trinity, Beatrice, Aniyah, Sincere, all wearing bonnets. And then Casey had on a do-rag. But I was like, looking, Melanie, you got afro hair, girl. No matter how you slice it and you straighten your hair, you can see it in the roots, baby. You can see in the texture. You got afro hair. Why you don't got a bonnet on? I mean, why you don't got a bonnet on? It's okay. I was kind of shocked that Zach didn't have a bonnet on with his curls. I was like, where's the bonnet? All right, girl, whatever. I was like, do you boo, do you boo. So everybody's going to sleep. The only people that were like cuddled up was actually it's two couples were cuddled up. Sincere and Melanie and Casey and Aniyah. And I thought both of them looked absolutely cute. So we get the next day, the boys are going to cook breakfast for the girls. The girls are getting ready. Trinity admits that she's not feeling Bryce that much because in bed, he was like, well, do you like avocado toast? And I think she felt like he was a little too West Coast. And I'm just like, I need you to get out of your town, your small town, and come into the world because avocado toast is just not on the West Coast. Like it's here as well. Like people on the East Coast eat avocado toast too. It's not that serious. Just say I don't like avocado toast. I like a full breakfast, American breakfast, soulful American breakfast. And that's it. You don't have to have everything in common with someone. There's just no such thing. It's okay to have differences. I feel like she was looking for a Nicolandria moment. And I wasn't feeling that at all. Like you're not even giving him a chance. It's crazy. So, he makes her breakfast. She actually likes the breakfast. Everybody was making, all the guys were making breakfast for the girls. But can I say this? Every guy that bought the breakfast gave deep kisses to the girl, which I've never seen before. Like it's day 2 and y'all already like tonguing each other down after breakfast. I was like, okay. But I ain't gonna front. I did like the kiss between Casey and Aniyah. I thought that was super cute. But Kenzie sees that everybody gets a kiss. And when Zach brings the food, she's like, oh, can I have a kiss? And he was like mad fast. My God. Like, Zach, you're not helping her insecurities. You're just not helping her securities. And by the way, he had a conversation the night before with Bryce, and he was expressing to him how she is not his type. But he's just gonna see how things go. And then when he was in his confessionals, he said he just like pretty much there won't be no snuggling or nothing at night because he doesn't really want to lead her on. You know what I mean? He doesn't want to give her that false hope if he can't be attracted to her. So when she asked for the kiss, I know he just did not want to kiss that girl. And it was just clear as then he went to her. And I know she felt some way because she, from the second episode, she just would not stop talking about it. She just wouldn't. So now everybody is, let me go down to my thing. This is going to be a long ass episode, y'all. Y'all just gonna have to enjoy it. I'm just saying, y'all just gonna have to enjoy this video. But we get everybody having like separate conversations, and Casey and Aniyah, they go to the balcony and they're having a conversation, and she pretty much tells him like, I kind of want a Prince Charming, you know, I want a guy who is thoughtful and kind of old fashioned, you know what I mean? And he was like, I understand that. He said, but you also have to kind of like be realistic that it doesn't happen if like I don't, like it's a big ass coat, I'm going to take my coat and put over it. Like there's no such thing as that. And I agree with him. But then I also had to say to myself, like, damn, I've never experienced that in my life where I didn't have a thoughtful guy. You know, I've only been with 2 people, dating wise. One was like for a couple of months, and then my ex-partner for 19 years. So from what I know is I always had to walk on the inside when we were walking the sidewalk or when we were crossing the street. My partner, when it was time for our bags, like unless it was like the only bag he wouldn't hold is like my personal items like pads and, you know, stuff like that. But everything else he would carry. So when I hear girls say that, I'm just like, damn. You know what I mean? Like, damn, like really, like men just don't, if the girl they like, they just don't automatically think about that. Maybe it's just the age group. It's just, maybe it's Gen Z. I don't know about that. But he said he definitely could do that, which I actually like. So now we get Melanie and Sincere in Soul Ties because that's where they were eating. And they were talking, hold on. So they were talking, and she brought up the question that was asked when it says, "Do you look through your phone?" He said, "Always," and he pretty much explained himself to her, like, I don't mean by like always, but like if we're in a relationship, like, you should have somewhat. If you want to look, you can, you can look at my phone. But then she goes and she said, "So be honest with me. So you got a roster?" And I'm like, "Girl, what's the purpose of that question?" Like, and then I see Melanie's red flag when she said that, and it continues on in episode 2. So he's like, "Yeah, I got a roster," and I'm like, "You're 25. You should have a roster." I don't understand what these young people at 23 in this day and age talking about. They want to get married. Slow your roll. Enjoy your 20s. Okay, if you need a roster, have a roster. Just protect yourself, please, when you're doing sexual activities. But at 25, everybody should have a roster. Like, come on, be real. But he was like, "Yeah, I got a roster." She's like, "Okay, okay, okay, okay." And I'm like, "No, she don't. She don't like that." But they start making out, and they making out, and they making out. So now we get Trinity talking to Bia off to the side, and then Trinity is saying to Bia, like, um again, she's not really feeling Bryce because he's very West Coast, and she's very East Coast. And then she's like, "I don't really like all that kissing, all that swap spitting." And I'm like, "Girl, you good at it, because the way you be kissing some of these guys is very, very passionate." I was like, "You sure about that, girl? Or you just don't like kissing Bryce? Like, what's the tea?" But then she asked, Bia about Sean, and, about the whole kid situation. And she's just like, expressed, she's like, "Really, I would never date a dude with a kid." But, she doesn't know. So now let me just come to my notes. So now it kind of speeds through the day, and we get them at night, honey, preparing for the night. Everybody looks nice. I need the boys to step up their outfits just a little bit, like Sean, not Sean, but Zach had on like a white with a green sleeve shirt. I'm like, uh-uh. I need y'all, the girls coming out here looking fly with the dresses. I need y'all to step up y'all games on y'all outfits. Y'all looking real, 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 real basic. So, fast forward, some of the people are having the conversations. They're really not that meaningful. But then here comes Ariana Grande. Why I keep calling this lady Ariana Grande? Then we get Ariana Madix. She comes out looking fly in a simple blue like dress, and that color on Ariana is so pretty. That brown with the blonde highlights, beautiful. And she came out looking. Every time I see her, I'm like, represent for the 40s, represent for the 40s. But she comes out and she's like, "Everybody, let's get ready. We got, something to do." So then it cuts, to commercial, of course. But then when it comes back, again, we got the doors. We got the wall with the doors. And there's 5 doors. And the men are on one side, the girls on the other side, and there's a red dot and there's a green dot. And Ariana explains to them, like, "You guys have been in your couple for 24 hours. Here's your chance. If you're not really feeling the person, that you can explore another person. If you want to explore, hit the red dot. But if you want to keep with your couple, stick with the green dot." So these are the people who went for red: Beatrice, or Bia, and Trinity. And on the guy's side, it was Zach and Bryce. Everybody else stood on the green side. Baby, after that, who comes walking in? The bombshells. And one of the bombshells we already know is Gabrielle. He was supposed to be a main islander, but because of Asana, she was kicked out for saying nigga. They had to demote somebody, so they demoted him. And can I say they made the right choice? Him as a main islander? Hell no. Hell no. He was perfect as a bombshell. So he comes in, he's 26 years old. He's originally from Brazil, but he lives in Miami. Gabrielle gives me fuck boy vibes 1000%. So then we get Kayda, I think that's how you say her name, Kayda. She is 22, very young, 22 years old, from New Hampshire. And oddly enough, both of them was pretty much saying like, "I have no problem and I won't have no guilt of taking your man or your girl." And I'm like, okay. The last person who said that learned a very harsh lesson that y'all like to call 404. I'm just saying. Excuse me, I'm hit my glasses. I'm just saying. So they come to both, the opposite ends, and they have to make out with the people who chose to explore them. And I don't know what Gabrielle was. Gotta be. How do you say her name? I'm just calling him Gabrielle. It's Gabrielle. Gabrielle. But honey, he started making out with Bia, and he was kissing on her neck, and his mouth was open and sensual, and she was just taking it. I was like, yes, love it. It was a cute little kiss. And then Kayda kissed Zach, and it was a cute little kiss. It was like, whatever. It was nothing crazy. But when Gabrielle got to Trinity, and those two was making out, and they just did not stop. It just did not stop. I was like, damn. I'm talking about, you should have seen Aniyah's face. Aniyah was like, damn, it's like that. She was like, take me through there, take me through it. And I was like, yeah, I know you jealous, girl. Stick with KC if you want to be smart. I'm just saying, just stick with him. But, they made out, they stopped, and then Kayda went to kiss Bryce. That was a cute little kiss. I forgot to mention when Kayda was kissing Zach, Kenzie could hear them making out, and again brought her insecurities to another level. So after everybody finished making out, Gabrielle took Beatrice and Trinity and walked out, and Kayda took Bryce and Zach and walked out, and that ended the episode. So that was the episode. What do you guys think? I thought it was a cute episode. Again, I thought a lot of stuff could have been cut. All that introduction seemed too much, or they could have cut that first scene with all them dancing and singing to a minute, and then again cutting that intro that was just like 20 minutes. That was really unnecessary. And then again with all the questions for compatibility, that's something that could be cut. This was a very, very, very long episode, and I watched it 3 times, so you can imagine. But what are you guys' thoughts? Let me know in the comment section. I'll see you guys in episode 2. That's your dose of drama for this week's reality report. The show may end, but the drama never. Catch you next time for more chaos, more tea, and more reality.